Hi gang, welcome back. Hex to Hex. I thought we'd change the pace up a little bit here, play something a little lighter. And you gotta love this series. Alright, so here we go. This is we'll call this Glory 1. This was the first box for the brigade system here. The Civil War battles of 1st and 2nd Manassas and Chickamauga. We're playing 1st Manassas here. And we're using the rules out of the Glory 3 box, the updated rules, But I thought we'd play 1st Manassas. You know, it plays pretty quick, so we've already blown through. We started the 0900 turn. You can see we're all the way out to the 15 turn. What are they, like, hour and 15 minutes or something like that? And quite the battle here. Now, with these counters, you got to be careful because I think the first turn, the movement on these counters, they put the regular movement and they put the extended movement. So the green box is actually their extended movement, and the little black 4 is actually the regular movement. The number in the circle is their strength, and the number in the red box is their cohesion. So these are Jackson's troops at Bull Run, and that 4 cohesion is not very good. I thought it would be better for them. So like I say, we played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 turns, okay? And all the little blue markers on the map are victory locations that the Union have already captured. They actually took this one down here, but all of the cavalry, in which they have three units for the Confederates, only 1 for the Yankees. The Yankees is Palmer's cavalry. They actually had that location down there, but now all the Confederate cavalry is closing in on them and chasing them out. Eventually, I'm sure they'll chase them back here to behind their lines. Arrivals, most of the Confederacy comes in over there, and those were the troops that were moving in from where Longstreet was early. They were way over there, closer towards the city, over to the east. And then you have one batch that comes in right about there, and they're already on the map. And you've got the Confederates sort of have 2 commands. Well, we'll call it 3 with the cavalry. You've got Beauregard's troops and Johnson's troops. Johnson's troops, of course, Jackson and B and Smith, you know, which he brought down from the valley. And then Beauregard he's got Evans and Cook. And who else he got? He's got, they call it the KBBH, but it's got like Kershaw and McLaws, which eventually would be Longstreet's troops. And Early. So when this thing got started, because of the way the Union arrives with Porter or Hunter's guys, and then Heintzelman's guys come in, they kind of have the numbers at first, moving down through Matthews and Robinson's house, and then over to the Stone house here, and then Henry's Hill. So the Union actually had moved in and captured the Stone house, the hex of the Stone house. And of course, you can see everything behind them up here to the Sudley Springs they've already got. But all the Confederates got on and were able to push them back. The Union's kind of regrouping now over here. So in this game here, when your combat casualties are disorder, and then when you suffer a second disorder, you do what's called withdrawal. And they don't have a box here. Maybe there's a chart for it somewhere. But your units go into the withdrawal box. And then you have a recovery phase where you can move the units from the withdrawal box into the recovery box. And then in the recovery phase the next time, you can roll against their cohesion to bring them back on the map. However, if you fail that roll, they're permanently eliminated. So there's no casualty by like number strength point losses. And really, the only time your strengths come into use in this game is during what they call shock combat or charge. So charge is pretty much how they handle all aspects of the infantry in fighting. You know, whether it's just toe-to-toe musket fighting or whether they're charging in and hand-to-hand fighting or whatever. And then you've got artillery fire, which happens before the movement. And then you've got defensive fire, where stacks that are about to get charged get a chance to fire defensive fire. So pretty simple system, all right? And then, of course, you know, you have to move all units of a formation, have to move and conduct all their business before you can move all units of the next formation. Which in this game here, they have a rule called combined, where you can combine 2 formations. Well, that doesn't, in the errata for this game, you can't use that. So it's kind of tough. And you have to attack everything in your frontal hexes. If you're in their frontal hexes, you have to attack them unless you have something to cover. Well, in this game here, if you're not from the same formation, you cannot be the covering force. So in other words, having 2 stacks in a unit that you want to charge with is adjacent to both those stacks, you need, and you don't want to attack both of them, you have to have somebody to cover that other stack. They don't have to shock, they don't have to charge them or anything, but they have to be in their frontal and cover them. And like saying this game here, you got to be from the same formation, according to what I'm reading in the rules. All right, well, let's see what's going on here. So, Hunter, who usually has a slow start, and he did, but on the second turn, with his first activation, second activation chit, I rolled a 0. So he was able to activate. And as you can see, Hunter's across. They've already taken the stone bridge. All right. They're already across the ford down here near Balls, just west of Balls Ford. But Sherman has not quite gotten across here at the farm ford up here. All right. But I don't think it's going to. I think Evans's boys are going to, Cook's boys are going to have to pull out of here because Keys is already across and they're pushing up the turnpike there towards Henry House Hill. Union doesn't have, but the only other reinforcements they got are coming from Heinzelman, which are coming in up here. It's above Sudley Springs. They were the ones that did the roundabout march that almost caught the Confederates off guard. But like I say, so far the Confederates are holding out in this area here. It's looking like once this force arrives from Heinzelman up the road here, and with Tyler pushing, they may need to fall back to Henry House Hill. I don't think I'm going to do that yet because they haven't lost anybody yet, except for, well, they lost a battery, which is over here from Cook. But the Union have lost a battery, and they had an infantry unit from Porter in Hunter's division that did not recover. They failed their recovery and they were eliminated permanently. So right now I can't call it either way. I think the Rebs are winning over here on this side. They might possibly end up winning over here once Smith, and with Smith you've got Early's units coming on too. So they might get the numbers up there and could turn that around depending on how fast Smith and Early get into action. Artillery is an interesting concept in here because you're not using fire strength. If you look at one of these artillery units, you'll see they have 2 units for each one. They have one that's, when they originally created this, was just your movement stuff, but then here's your fire one right here. So you don't have to use the movement ones. You can just put these on the map. And you've got a letter, S, M, or L for short, medium, or long type of cannon fire. And then they've got a plus number. So you'll take that short, medium, or long. You'll look at a chart to see if they get a modifier for whatever range they're shooting at, considering what type of cannon they are. And then their standard modifier is a +1. So you have potential to get like +3s on stuff when you're shooting. And I don't know, it works out pretty good. You got to roll high though. You roll 8 or less on a 10-sided dice, you're not hitting nothing. So it's nice when you get those +2s or +3s. And then you roll like a 9, okay? The 10-sided dice in this game is from 0 to 9, not 1 to 10. All right, so we got first Manassas, or first Bull Run, however you want to call it. We're I think we're getting ready to hit the pitch point right here. I want to just figure out which way this battle's going to go. So right now I'm going to call it balanced. Union owns most of the victory. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the Confederates. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for the Union. So the Union's up in points that are captured, but I think the Confederate cavalry is going to reverse some of that and give the advantage back to them. Plus, the unit has one more unit lost or eliminated than the Confederates do. All right, let me get this thing posted so you can see this old classic, which was made in what, 1995? Not as ancient as some games. And of course, this is a Richard Byrd game. So, all right, Glory 1, First Battle of Manassas. We'll get some more out to you here shortly. Talk to you soon.